Hey there, kids. Gather around because I have a wonderful story to share with you today. Have you ever heard the saying, honesty is the best policy? It's a phrase that means telling the truth is always the right thing to do. Well, today I'm going to tell you a story that shows why being honest is so important. It's a tale that has been told for generations and it carries a powerful message. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by a lush forest, there was a poor woodcutter who lived near a deep, deep river. This woodcutter was known for his hard work and dedication. Every single day, he'd go to the forest, chop wood and sell it to make a living. Pretty hard-working, right? He would wake up early in the morning, even before the sun rose, and head out with his trusty old axe. The forest was his second home, and he knew every tree and path by heart. One day, while he was cutting a tree near the river, his axe slipped from his hands and, splash, fell into the water. Oh no! The river was super deep and he couldn't get his axe back. The water was dark and murky, making it impossible to see where the axe had fallen. The woodcutter was really sad and sat by the river, wondering how he would do his work now. Without his axe, he couldn't chop wood, and without wood, he couldn't earn money to buy food. But then something magical happened. The air around him began to shimmer, and the water started to glow with a soft, ethereal light. A shimmering figure rose from the water. It was a goddess. She was radiant and kind, with a gentle smile that made the woodcutter feel at ease. She held a shiny golden axe and asked, "Is this yours?" Her voice was melodic, like the sound of a gentle stream. The woodcutter shook his head and said, "No, that is not mine." He knew that honesty was the right path, even though the golden axe was so tempting. He was being honest, even though the golden axe was so fancy. It sparkled in the sunlight, and anyone would have loved to own it. The goddess smiled and dipped back into the water. She came back up with a silver axe. "Is this yours?" she asked again. Again, the woodcutter shook his head. "No, that is not mine either," he replied honestly. The silver axe was beautiful, but it wasn't his. Finally, the goddess brought back his old, worn-out iron axe. The woodcutter's face lit up with joy. "Yes, that is mine," he said happily. He was so excited to see his trusty old axe again. It may not have been shiny or new, but it was his and it had served him well for many years. Impressed by his honesty, the goddess decided to reward him. She gave him all three axes, the golden one, the silver one, and his old iron one. The woodcutter was so grateful and thanked the goddess before heading home with a heart full of happiness. He couldn't believe his luck and felt blessed by the goddess's kindness. So kids, what's the moral of the story? It's that honesty is